Birmingham, at its founding, was a very unique city. It was basically an immigrant city because people came to Birmingham to build this new city in the late 1800s. And what ended up happening, you had just a wonderful diversity of people building what was being called the Magic City. The unique thing about it was, again, it had this diversity of people. But as Jim Crow was being introduced into our society, it became really the overshadowing policy for how communities did business. Prior to Jim Crow, Birmingham Black businesses could locate anywhere in the city limits of Birmingham, anywhere downtown. We have historical documents that tell us that there were a number of African American businesses very east of where we are today. But as Jim Crow took shape, those businesses were pushed to the west of 19th Street, to 18th, 17th, 16th, so forth and so on. And what that caused was really the genesis of the Black business district of Birmingham. And the unique thing about our particular Black business district is that it is in downtown Birmingham. Most historical Black districts are not in downtowns. It was a dynamic synergy because you had demand and supply all in one place, right? And so we had theaters, we had jazz clubs, we had restaurants, we had doctor's offices, we had seamstress, we had tailor shops. Whatever you could imagine for the society at that particular time, this district had it. We probably had 3 banks at one time that were African American banks here in this district. Believe it or not, in Birmingham, there was such a diversity of business owners during that period of time. We had doctors who owned their own practices who were supporting the movement. They actually treated patients who found themselves caught up with police brutality, and they provided that service free of charge. Businesses also looked like barbers. They looked like dentists. They looked like up-and-coming advertising agencies. So it took on a variety. Some of the largest, I think, though, were insurance owners who ran insurance businesses. So it was just a cross-section of small businesses who were engaged in the struggle. Now, I will say that most of them were not engaged on the front lines. They were engaged behind the scenes, making sure that, again, the work was being funded and supported. Probably one of the most well-known businessmen at that particular time was Dr. A.G. Gaston, who owned a hotel, as well as several other small businesses that supported the movement. The Black business community was extremely important to the movement. I think that when you look at the structure of support, a lot of it came from the Black business community. And when I say support, I'm talking about financial support. Not only was there financial support, there was also a community of business owners who could do things outside of just the financial support for those folks who were participating in the movement. If folks were actually put in jail, they could put up property, to bail people out of jail. They could also put up a cash to bail people out of jail. They could also harbor you when folks were looking for you. because you weren't in a residence. They had no idea where you were. The police officers would be looking for a scapegoat, if you will, and businesses who were running their legitimate livelihoods would oftentimes step in and take care of individuals who were protesting and marching and on the front lines on a regular basis. So that was extremely important because the fight needed to go on and continue. And every time a soldier was down was one less person who was in the fight. So keeping people engaged in the struggle on a daily basis was extremely important.